I was born in 1972, and back then vinyl was the thing. Music was a huge thing, a thing that people would gather around, talk about, and discuss. And in the early 80s, from when I was about 10, I started to seriously collect vinyl records. This is the first album that I ever bought after a summer holiday where I heard this band, Gnags. It's a Danish band, so probably only Danes will know what this is. But this was my very first vinyl album that I bought for my very own money. And from then on, I was sort of hooked on the vinyl collecting thing. In the late 80s, I gradually switched over to CDs. So another 10 years go by, and all the way up to maybe the early 2000s, MP3 was a thing, and I ripped my entire music collection and sold my entire music collection, and uploaded the whole thing to the cloud eventually. And I was happy about that because it's convenient. I could listen to all the songs wherever I was. The problem was that along the journey, and I didn't really pay attention to this, but along the journey, all the things surrounding the musical experience sort of vanished. And I didn't realize that I missed it until my teenage son, my 15-year-old son, came home about a year ago and asked me if we could maybe consider getting a vinyl record player, because he was starting to get into music and music listening, different genres, different types of music from what I like to listen to, but we had the vinyl listening in common that we could bond around. And so we started getting the record player set up, and I started collecting music. Obviously, my son, when he goes into a record store nowadays in 2025, he will get like one or two albums for the same price as I pay for like 10, because I have apparently a cheap taste. But this channel here is more about the things surrounding the vinyl record listening experience, opening those sleeves and reading the sleeve notes and, immersing yourself in the whole experience. Where were you when you first heard this album? All these things, this is what the channel is about. So I hope you will join me and, tag along as I tell you about these experiences that I've had with music, because now I must admit, having rediscovered vinyl is one of the most wonderful things that has happened to me in recent years. This is truly something that I enjoy, and I hope you will enjoy it just as much as I do. So give a like and subscribe, and let's talk about it.